Hello, everybody. It's a new day, and it's a day that I am really super excited about. I'm taking a new turn in my work, and one which I'm just really so happy to be able to share with all of you. It's been a deepening journey for me over the course of the last several years, an evolution that my work is beginning to take, and one that I'm becoming firmer and firmer in my, I guess I would say, theory, uh, philosophy, and equally beginning to build a good, strong test set of results based upon the type of work that I'm doing. You likely will have noticed from some of my recent posts that I'm also offering my 1 hour consultations as well as now my half-hour consultations at a reduced rate. So you can have an opportunity to more deeply experience a lot of the new concepts that I'm working with. And if you want to set something up, you can do that through the link that you'll see above. So let me talk to you a little bit about some of the theory behind this, because to be quite fair, this is a topic that I could probably talk for hours on because it's so incredibly super powerful. And it's based on, in my opinion, the whole reason why astrology works anyway. And I'm going to go into explaining this concept to you today through talking about the Atman. Simple understanding of that term is soul or spirit, and as well the manas or our mind or our sensory mind, and understand things from that perspective. And also talking to you about the thing that I talk to people about all the time, which are the nakshatras or the lunar mansions of Vedic astrology. And I want you to really deeply consider those two words, lunar mansions, even though it's a term that is more, kind of created in the West for this particular association of these particular sections of the sky, which we call nakshatras in Vedic astrology, and sometimes they're also referred to as lunar mansions. So let's jump into a lot of this philosophy. Okay, so we're here to strengthen our alignment with our sense of purpose, our reason for being here, which changes and alters at every single moment in time. We are here to share so many different things with the universe, with the world, right? Through our experience or our journey of consciousness. Right. And we're meant to be strongly aligned as much as we possibly can with that sense of purpose. What tends to happen, though, is we get somewhat distorted along our journey. We kind of go off path, we lose direction, so to speak. And it's through working with the nakshatras or the lunar mansions that we can begin to correct this particular course. So let's talk a little bit about the sun and the moon, right? Or a way that the sun and the moon are reflected into our existence, which is the idea of the Atman or the soul, and the manas or the sensory mind, the part of our mind that tunes into our environment and picks up on the subtle impulses and ultimately makes decisions based upon the information that we're sensing, right? So the sun relates to the Atman, it relates to the soul, right? The soul's job is to just purely be here doing the things that it's here to do. The sun needs to be firm in its action in order to do those things, because to walk the path of the soul, it requires sacrifice. It requires getting rid of those things which no longer have a fit in our life anymore because of the decisions that we're having to make, and to be very firm in our commitment towards the path of righteousness as it evolves and opens up in front of our very eyes at every single moment in time, because Dharma is a path that is ever evolving. It's always growing, and ideally, we're always deepening our connection with this path. So let's talk for a little bit about the moon. So, what is the moon's job? The moon's job is to reflect the light of the sun, to reflect the light of the soul. But the moon, through its function of manas or sensory mind, sometimes becomes distorted. Think of it in terms of how the moon over the course of the month will wax and wane, which doesn't mean when the moon's waxing, we're always super tuned in to our soul's path, nor does it mean when it's waning that we're completely separated from that. But it does reflect the fact that our capacity to tune into our soul purpose is something that alters. It grows, it decays, and it goes through transition and transformation at every single moment in time. So the nakshatras, also known as the lunar mansions, the nakshatras are like stations of consciousness along our evolutionary journey, starting with Ashwini and culminating with Revati. And just to give an example, like, so what would the quote unquote station of evolution connected to Ashwini be like? Well, it's the activation of the primeval self. It's you in potential coming into existence for the sake of the whole drama of creation. Ideally, you're meant to march forward into this state of existence with a unified sense of purpose. Sometimes, though, when Ashwini energy is weak, we become split. We become uncertain of the path. We become not really sure what is right and what is wrong. And we find ourselves in positions where quite often we're having to act quickly or think quickly, and we either get it right or we get it wrong, to put it simply. And so those moments when we're getting it right is when we're more unified in our purpose and more deeply connected. Let's give another example, which is Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra Nakshatra marks the stage in the evolutionary journey of the nakshatras where the soul is fully within the best way to explain it is within the material realm. We have a word in Vedic philosophy which is tamasic. So the soul is fully encased in its tamasic, or you could use the word dark qualities, which doesn't mean negative and it doesn't mean evil. It means completely here within existence, stuck in the material realm. So the station of evolution connected with Chitra is that moment of review where we're taking a look at our life and going, is my life really as aligned with my sense of purpose as it was when I first set off on this journey? So I'm just giving you some simple ideas, but each nakshatra really relates to one of these stations. And the concept is when things aren't going well in our life, in a particular area, it's because we're out of alignment with either the planet that's in a particular nakshatra, the nakshatra itself, or I also do work with house cusps and I place those in nakshatras too, or the actual house cusp itself. If we're having relationship problems, that might be the seventh house. If we're having career problems, it may have something to do with our 10th house cusp or our 10th lord or all of the above. And this is, of course, going to be determined by the period of your life that you're in. So the one of the new ways that I'm taking my work is by working more deeply with these evolutionary stations when my clients come to me, and helping them to tune in and understand where they might be out of alignment, giving them recommendations of actions that they can take, symbolism they can work with to begin to realign their consciousness with their purpose. at that particular moment in time so that things that are feeling out of balance or difficult suddenly begin to rectify themselves, right? Does that mean if you work with a particular nakshatra, like, manna's just going to fall from heaven and everything's going to go super wonderfully in your life? No, it means you're going to be doing the work and your life's going to be turning around, but you'll begin to develop greater and greater levels of self-trust and self-understanding so that any challenges that come your way, you're going to recognize what they're about and you're going to be empowered to meet those moments of your journey. So this is a new way in which I'm taking my work and something that I'm deepening with every single month that goes by. And it's something that's been going on in the background for a while. And it's something that I'm becoming ever more deeply excited to share with you as my audience and as my individuals. I may also do a new nakshatra course based on this concept at some point in the future. But for those of you who are interested in experiencing this work in action and how it really has the capacity to be life-changing for you, again, I am offering consultations at a reduced rate, both my 1 hour consultations as well as my half-hour consultations. And you can book those through the link that you'll see above. I'm going to be coming back on over the course of the next several days and, yes, perhaps weeks, and sharing more with you on these particular concepts and these philosophies. And so thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back soon, probably within the next few days, in order to share with you the deeper stage of the journey. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye now.